And welcome back, and we're going to continue our conversation with Jim Watkins here. And Jim, where we left it off was 2013, and using Liam as an example, and you've been so generous in sharing your personal story. I know a lot of families relating right now, they're getting older.
Yeah.
And beyond all the practical and the economic questions, then the deals with the math questions. You have two twin boys who adore him. Yep. And I've heard this from other autistic children, that their siblings are the ones who look to the autistic sibling as their hero. Yep. And Lord help anybody who says a bad word about him. But the dynamic is, your other sons, it's going to be a lifetime commitment for them too.
What happens, certainly with Lauren and me, and I'm guessing with many families of autistic children, is you spend a certain number of years thinking about the present. How do we fix this? Always good. How do we fix it? What treatments, what therapies, what do we do? Well, it was a very difficult turning point, as I'm guessing once again it is for many families, when the day comes, and that's I guess when Liam was getting to be 9, 10, 11, when you start to allow yourself to think, we're in this for the long haul. He's not going to get better. There's not going to be a pill. There's not going to be a cure. There's not going to be a therapy that dramatically comes along and makes him start talking and relating and, you know, being more typical. It's just not going to happen. So you go from that point gradually into, so what are we talking about here for the future? And that gets into so many questions. You talk about the siblings. His twin brother's 11 years old now, Luke and Jamie, who I think you saw in some of the pictures there, who simply adore him. They deal with this situation with grace and humor and dignity and kindness toward him. But the fact is, the day is going to come when, you know, they're going to be adults and the parents are going to move on, and all parents think about what's going to happen that day when he's done with school at the age of 21. Where's he going to live? If he still needs 24/7 care, then, you know, what agency is going to provide it? Where is he going to live? How well is he going to be looked after? Is he going to be looked after as well as he's being looked after by us right now? And you lie awake at night and you think about these things.
What advice do you give to parents? I mean, it obviously has to have an effect on the marriage.
You know,
it's got to be hard. I mean, it really, right?
There's a statistic, and it's probably one of these statistics that gets repeated over and over again, that it actually takes on a life of its own, but, you know, I'll use it anyway, that 80%, 4 of 5 marriages involving autistic children end in divorce. Wow. And my response to that always is, well, you know, half of all marriages end in divorce anyway, so you're actually just tacking on a little bit extra there, you know.
But that's a big number, 30% markup, basically.
First, I have to say about my wife, and I think this is so true in so many families, she does all the work. Right. That's one of the things, after she told me all those things that she was doing today on the phone, and I go, you're doing all those things at home. Who gets to go on TV tonight and talk about how we're dealing with autism?
We've obviously just touched the very tip of this iceberg, and we were doing a special here as we did last year on April 22nd. But Jim, thank you so much.
No, it's my pleasure.
And you know, I think the good thing is we can talk about autism openly, and I don't know, a decade ago even, let alone 20 years ago, we could have done that. And obviously, that's a part of this. Evan, Tom, guys, thank you very much. Everyone, we'll see you here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Until then.